Hey guys, thank you so much for being here for my Riverdale live chat. I see a lot of you in the room already, and I'm going to say hi to you guys. So I see Tobin and Firkin and Datsun and Rachel. If you are here, you know what to do. Say hello so that I can give you a shout out as well. If you watched my reaction video last night, then you will know that I enjoyed the episode, and I felt like the killer was very, very clear after this episode, and you know who I think it is, and that hasn't changed from last week. Hi, Ralph. Hi, Chase. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hi, Makara. Hi, Lauren. And then there's been a lot of talk, as Rachel's just mentioning, about what was going on with Archie and Mrs. Blossom again, because she seems to really want to go out of her way to help him, and Rachel is thinking he's probably a Blossom. So there has to be something going on with that storyline, because why does his mom, or does Jason's mom, always act super weird when she's around him? Hi, Nikki. Hi, Paper Lab. Thank you guys for being here. Tobin is not on board with the Polly is the killer theory. So Tobin, who do you think is the killer? Rachel says Cheryl is about to get her Emily Thorne on with the red Sharpie. Is that from Revenge? Is Emily Thorne from Revenge? That's what I think. So it was very weird. I'm not sure if I can trust the Blossoms in regards to Archie, because it was almost like they wanted him to date their daughter, but then it was almost like they wanted him to be her brother. I really don't know, but it was just super weird. And I'm kind of in agreement with Archie's dad, because I definitely don't trust them at all. Ralph B is here. Fred is here. Ben is here. Thank you so much for being here. But what did you guys think about the episode? What were some of your favorite moments? Do you agree with me on who is the killer, or do you think it's someone else, and why? I'm open to your ideas and suggestions. We also had a lot of Ethel FaceTime in this episode, and when I first started watching it, I did not know where they were going with this storyline. Like I told you in my video last night, I have one person who watches my videos who has her as a suspect, although I don't feel like she's a suspect, but I don't know how much they're going to intertwine Veronica's dad and all the stuff he's done with this show, and if that relates to Jason's death at all. Ralph Nation says you loved it when Betty's mom threw a rock through the window. It's really funny because a lot of people are really enjoying Betty's mom now. I don't know if they've been watching Twin Peaks like I have, but a lot of people have been commenting on my videos that they like her a lot more. Of course, I have a new respect for her because of Twin Peaks, but I thought definitely last week's episode, she was amazing, and I enjoyed her in this episode, even though she had a crazy moment. Tobin says that you like Ethel. You bet the Demogorgon comes over from the stranger. Okay, I don't know if you have, I've never watched Stranger Things, so I don't even know if that's how you say that word. Comes over from Stranger Things and kills her. I don't know. Are we gonna have a crossover into the show? Morella, thank you for being here. You also think that Polly is the killer, but Betty's mom is also suspicious after the rock throwing. I think Betty's mom just has some issues, especially a bad temper would be one of them. And she hinted to that last week, and I felt like that was a little bit crazy what she did, a little over the top. Ben says you think they made Ethel so important in the last episode that she was in so that this plot would actually feel important and not just thrown in to fill space. You don't think she's the killer. I agree. Firkin says, why would she stay at the Blossoms if she didn't want to spy on them? If she was really the killer, then she would act as normal as possible and would have stayed with her family. Because I feel like that's her plot. Like she wants to blame them, that she gave like her reason for staying with them because she thinks that they killed Jason. I mean, I don't know. We could look at it on the other side of things and say that she truly believes that they killed him and she's completely innocent and they probably didn't kill him and it's somebody else. I don't know. But Firkin, who is your pick for the killer of Polly? No, the killer of Jason, not Polly. Polly's still here. Yes, a lot of you have been tweeting me about American Horror Story Season 7 Election, and Billie Lourd, who we know from Scream Queens, Carrie Fisher's daughter, is going to be a front runner in that show in this season. So again, pretty sure Scream Queens is not coming back. Haven't gotten the official word, but it's looking more and more like that with this new information. Makara says Betty's mom throwing the rock and being violent can be a clue to show us that Polly could also be violent. I really enjoy that comment. That's great. And we've seen Betty be violent as well with Chuck, aka Zach from 13 Reasons. Yes. I feel like I know him so much better from that show. I'm on episode 8, by the way, so let's let's not chat about it. I'm nervous about that show. It's too good. Ralph says that you think Ralph B says you think that Archie's niceness and stupidity has gotten him into trouble again. So I think we were all pretty aware that the situation with Cheryl was not a good situation, especially after she bought him the expensive guitar, but he could not get out of it. It took him a long time to deny her until she, kissed him. He lost his girlfriend over it. So yeah, he's a little naive is what I think. I definitely don't think he's suspicious. Firkin wants Emma Roberts to come back to American Horror Story. I think that could definitely happen. I definitely think the whole Scream Queens cast could just go to that show in the next couple of seasons. So yes, we have Molly Ringwald coming next week as Archie's mom. I know a lot of people are excited about that. She was a big 80s star. I'm not super familiar with her. I know who she is, but I'm cool with it. Rachel says Jughead looks like he's going to get into a fight with Reggie in the next episode. Definitely, yes. Firkin agrees that Archie is naive, but you really like him. So yes, and we learned that the Blossom parents framed Hiram, who is Veronica's dad. So there's so much corruption with the adults, and honestly, I don't enjoy that part of the show. And that does still concern me about the reveal of Jason's killer, because there's just so much of that storyline is focused on the adults and stuff that's gone on in the past with them that may not have anything to do with the teens, but it may if his killer is an adult, Laurent says that Archie has the best and worst luck with women. Yeah, really, you're right. Absolutely. Morella says maybe Polly's trying to make Cheryl look guilty. I don't know. The last scene of the episode was kind of suspicious, she says, like she would come after Polly. Maybe Polly's plan is to make Cheryl look like she can do bad things, maybe even kill someone. That's really good. I really like that comment. So, I mean, I don't think that the show has been overtly, obvious in showing, showing that Polly's the killer. Like, I think they're trying to be sneaky about it, but they're also trying to give us clues. And I still feel like she's the killer, but I like what you're saying there, Morella. Ralph says, sometimes a crazy person can cause chaos, but a nice person can also cause chaos. And the Blossoms see this in Archie and are playing off of it. So I agree with you, Ralph, that it is definitely a setup for Archie. It is not in his best interest. And I don't know if I'm super blurry on your end, but I'm super blurry on my end. So I don't know. It looks crazy over here. So I'm sorry if it is. But yeah, I agree with you that Archie is being played, and his dad was completely right, and I'm hoping he's out of this scenario after this episode. Fred says you're glad Fred wasn't playing the gullible nice guy this episode. Firkin says you don't want the killer to be an adult, but you actually like the adult storylines. I feel like if it's not Polly, then it's probably an adult, to be honest, because I just don't see it being any of the other teens unless they're going to pull something where we had just no idea and it's completely shocking and it doesn't make sense. I think it just wouldn't make sense, but I don't know. Yeah, I've heard some people, as Datsun, saying that believe Jughead is the killer because he's the narrator, but I'm not seeing it, but I guess it could happen. And Tobin saying, what if Jughead is narrating because it's actually him confessing? So I don't know. I mean, I would definitely be okay with that. I would be way happier with that than a random serpent or someone's, if it was Veronica's dad, which I still think we haven't seen him, but he's been mentioned so much. It's what is the deal with that? Rachel thinks there were two killers. Gotham, I hope I'm saying your name right. Who do I think the killer is? I think it's Polly, especially after this episode when she tried to place the blame on the Blossoms and the fact that she has just alienated her family. I mean, what I don't understand is, okay, that's fine if she's suspicious of the Blossoms and she wants to get in with them and she's pretending to enjoy their company and enjoy living with them because she thinks they're the killers. But why would that prevent you from speaking to your family? You don't even have to tell your family you think that they are the killers, but why is that preventing her from talking to her family? I still don't understand that, especially Betty. Maybe she's a little mad at her mom still, but why would she be mad at Betty? I don't get it. Morella is afraid that Veronica's dad won't be involved in Jason's murder. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about that as well. He has just mentioned so much, and I don't know. We're going to have to see where they go with that, but he's definitely a big player in this season, and I don't really know why, but I'm sure we'll find out. Ralph B says Archie keeps poking himself into everyone's situation, not realizing he's interfering or possibly causes the situation to go a different way. Yeah, I think he definitely made a huge mistake this entire episode. I do think he realizes it now, but I don't know if he would. I think he could definitely make a mistake again like similar. I don't know if he's learned his lesson, you know? Karen says you think it's either Polly's mom or Jason or dad or Jason's mom. He says mom or dad. You're probably in the UK, right? Fred says they're coming back for season 2. It won't be Jughead. They need him. And that's what I feel about it. I don't feel like it's going to be a main teen character just because I think they would have a hard time, this being the first season. What are they going to do with that character for the rest of the show? And Fred says Jughead is an iconic character in the comics. Fans would get super mad if he were the killer. I think you're absolutely right. I agree with you. And Datsun says Jughead is the fan favorite. The show would take a big hit in viewers. So I agree. I don't think he's the killer at all. Tobin's asking do I think they will introduce Sabrina? I feel like I either read this or someone told me that she was going to be next season, but I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest. So I don't know. I think that'll be interesting when she comes along, but I just really don't know when. But, you know, I feel like it was a good episode, but was there a ton of info? Not really. It was just more of the adult storyline and Hiram and whatever's going on with him that's probably related to Jason's death. Probably. I mean, I don't know, unless it's just a side mystery. And then just, I felt like the Polly stuff was just huge and very much made her the killer in my eyes. Yeah, I'm just going to stay away from the Reddit spoilers because I don't know if those are real or not, but I'm just not going to discuss possible internet spoilers here because I'm afraid they could be real and I don't want to spoil that for everyone. Birkin says, who knows? Maybe they will make a main character the killer and kick them out of the show. That would be something we would not expect, and you would like it. Well, I'm all about that. I love it when any show is brave enough to make a main person, especially a person who everyone likes and thinks is amazing, the villain. And if that means they have to leave, I'm completely behind that. But I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm definitely into that. Luna Moon says if Polly is telling the truth about the Blossom thing, you get where she's coming from. If the Blossoms think Polly dislikes her family and isn't talking to people, they'd be more careless around her. So I actually think that's a very good point of view. Maybe Polly's innocent and she just wants to pretend like she's abandoned her family to get in better with the Blossoms to see if they will reveal their secrets, although I don't ever see that they would tell her that they killed the person she loved if that's what they did. But maybe they know who did or something and she can figure that out. I don't know. Dadson says Archie, Jughead, Betty, and Veronica are the 4 pillars of Archie comics and the show too. Absolutely. And I mean, to be completely honest, I don't see them dying. And this is a little bit different of a show as to where this is based on a comic series where we know these are the people that are throughout the whole series. Instead of if it was just like a new show and we just had these 4 people who were, you know, the stars, it would be kind of different because we could lose them because they're not based on anything, you know, if that even makes sense. Guatem says Jason and Grundy might have had a thing and Jason might have seen them on the morning of the 4th of July. On confronting Grundy, she could have killed Jason. So, I mean, I don't know. I've had a lot of people mention her, even though we haven't seen her on the show in a while. And I definitely think she had an affair with Jason, just like she did with Archie. Is she the killer? I mean, if they make her the killer and we don't see her before the reveal episode, that's going to make me really angry because I don't think enough evidence is there to make her the killer. And she's just such a small character, but I don't know. Could they do that? Yeah, sure. Ralph Nation says feel like Jughead knows who the killer is and is like the killer's sidekick, but doesn't kill anyone, just that he knows who the killer is. So that's a very interesting take on that, possibly. Paperlap says you think it's Archie or Betty, if you were honest, because they want to really shock us with the main character. You just really hope it won't end like the finale of How to Get Away with Murder season 3. Okay. Tobin thinks that Lana Del Rey killed Jason because she slayed him. Yeah, absolutely. I love Lana Del Rey. Her music is amazing. Sure. Dadson says you think 4 things. Serpents killed Jason, a witch killed Jason, someone who was trying to kill Archie killed Jason, or Polly killed Jason. I do believe they've said they don't want to do supernatural stuff with this show, so I may think that the witch theory may not happen. But the rest of it, yeah, and I've seen, maybe it was you, Datsun, or somebody else today commented that they think it's a mistaken identity case, that perhaps Archie was the original target. I think I've heard that one before, so there's a few people thinking that. Makara says you don't see the Blossoms killing Jason because it's brought them a lot of problems. I don't think that it's them. I really don't. Nikki doesn't think it's Polly because she jumped out the window and hurt herself upon finding out Jason was dead. Doesn't seem like the behavior of a killer. But on the flip side of that, if you are the killer, what would you want to do to make yourself look innocent? You would want to freak out when you heard this person was dead. You would want to do things to make it look like you were totally, distraught because you want to play that role. But I can see both sides of it. Ralph B says it would be weak making Grundy the killer, just like Scream with Piper, seeing as Piper was only in a handful of episodes. I wasn't very happy with that Piper reveal at all. I think Scream got better in the second season. Of course, forget that now, but I agree. So the thing is, I don't really know where they're going to go when it comes to killer reveals in the show because it's a new show. So none of us know. So I think this will kind of be the benchmark or whatever for us for like finding out who is the killer. So if it's someone super lame, then we know they're going to go there in the future for future reveals. If it's someone amazing, then that kind of tells you what kind of show it is. And I just don't know if they want to bring out someone super lame or someone we don't even know that well or someone who's only been in a couple of episodes. I don't know. Solange says you believe the killer isn't going to be shocking. The show is more so about how the town is unraveling because of the murder. So, and there's that. And the thing about it is with this show, I don't know what they're going for. That's kind of like going back to what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what type of show we have here. I know it's a mystery show, but I don't know how shocking they want to be, and this is just one little piece of the big series here. And I don't think that Jason's murder and who the killer is really going to play a lot into the rest of the series. So they could go small here or they could go big. I don't know. Firkin says you actually like the first season of Scream better than the second. I love the first season, don't get me wrong. I didn't really like the killer reveal, but I love the second season more. Tobin says you would really love the killer to be a main character. It would become a subplot throughout the whole series, the friends keeping a horrible secret. And I really like that. I don't know if they're going to go there, but I definitely like the fact that, well, I actually like the fact that maybe the viewers know who the killer is and it's a main character, but then no one else in the town knows or gets blamed on someone who's like a secondary character. I think that's even better than a few people knowing it's one of the main people. Ralph Nation says you feel like it's Cheryl because her personality changes in like every episode, and because if the killer was going to kill Jason, they could have easily killed Cheryl. So yeah, I mean, I go back and forth about how I feel about her too, because sometimes I think she's just really nice and she's kind of been mistreated and that's why she acts the way she does. And then sometimes I think she probably really is evil. So it's hard to know about her. Dadson says you think they've hammered on the fact that Archie looks like Jason too much for it to mean nothing. However, you feel like the person who killed Jason would have just gone after Archie afterwards. Yeah, so, well, I mean, there's definitely something up with that. And I feel like it's probably that Archie is related to the Blossoms more than he was the target. That's what I think. Solange says, do we believe the killer will be brought to justice in the finale? We know for sure the killer will be revealed. And she says, will the audience know something that the characters don't know? We don't know that either, but we just know from what the writers and producers have said that the killer will be revealed. I don't know if they will be brought to justice or what that means, but we're supposed to get a reveal. Ralph B says the key to figuring out who the killer is not who killed Jason, but why was Jason killed? And remember, he was tortured, so we have that element of it. And do we think two people did it or just one person? I don't know, but that's a good point. Why was he killed? And I have a motive with Polly, but when you mention other people, what do you think is there? If you don't think it's Polly, which is fine, why did this person do it? If you're saying Betty's dad, did he do it because he didn't want, I don't know, he didn't want his daughter to be with him, possibly marry him? What is their reasoning? I mean, to me, the only person who has a perfect motive that I know of, unless they haven't, told us what their motive is or what it could be, is Polly. Polly just makes the most sense to me. And we only have a few episodes left, so I don't know. Chase says okay, you're talking about Scream. One part of the second season was like the movies, okay? And Morella says Archie killing Jason is really interesting. I don't trust Archie. What do you think Archie's motive would be for killing Jason? Let's see here. I'm getting a little bit confused with all the different. I'm sorry if I missed your comment. Just comment again if I missed it. Karen thinks that Riverdale is like 90210, the 2009 version. I watched some of that, but were people killed in that? I don't remember. Maybe. I didn't watch a ton of it. Ralph says Cheryl is weird for her brother, and that's all that's going on there. It's really weird. Yeah. I don't really think she's the killer. I really don't. Luna says, you keep forgetting that Jason was tied up before getting shot. If Polly did that, what's her motive? Well, I think Polly's motive is that he wanted to leave her. He didn't want to be with her. She was pregnant, possibly with his kid. I don't even know if it's his kid or kids now that they're twins. And she was, mad at him. So she was going to kill him if he wasn't going to be with her. Also, there's the thing that she could be the heir and her baby would be the heir to all that Blossom money after we get him out of the way. So 2 things there. Hi, Lucy. Thank you so much for being here. Ralph B says, was Jason tortured or was he struggling to get out of his restraints? I'm not really sure. So he was tied up. Does he have all the marks on his body from like struggling to get out of rope or something? I don't know what he was tied up with. Or did someone torture him? I don't know. Karen, okay. A lot of you guys are talking to each other, so I'm getting confused about which ones I need to read. Tobin says that I think you think Archie killed Jason to be the quarterback, but he's not even on the team anymore, right? So if he was dying, wanting to kill someone to be the quarterback, like wouldn't he still be in that role, be on the team? Michael says that Kevin ruins the show for you. Why is that, Michael? Ralph Nation says you don't think it's Polly because how could she have killed Jason if she was in the hospital locked up? So was she sent to the hospital? Okay. I don't know the timeline on that, but we did see her escape from the hospital. So could she not have escaped the night that he died? I felt like she wasn't in the hospital whenever he was killed, but maybe she was. I don't know. Ralph says he had rope burns. Thank you, which could also be seen as torture. So you definitely could get rope burns because you're struggling to get out of the ropes that have bound your body. Tobin's just blaming everyone. Okay. Birkin says maybe it was actually Cheryl who killed Jason because he had always been the favorite and the heir, and she was jealous. She loved him but hated him for that, and she's playing everyone. You could definitely tell that her dad especially thinks she's stupid and pretty much thinks that guys are smarter than her. I think he was treating Archie like better than her, so that's an interesting theory. Aaron says that Archie's mom and Jason's mom are secret sisters. Okay, I could be down with that, definitely. So Birkin's saying that she was in the hospital when Jason was murdered, but we saw her climb out of the window. So don't you think she could have done that before? I don't know. I'm just sticking with her, not just because like I'm dead set on it, but when I think of everyone else we've seen in the show, I can't think of a good motive for them that's as convincing as Polly. Now, like I said, they could even make it Miss Grundy and they could tie it into some weird thing. Maybe they had an affair and he was going to tell on her. I don't know. She seemed really angry when Archie was going to tell. So I don't know. They could make it anybody, obviously. So I don't know. Michael thinks there's a reason why we haven't met Archie's mom yet. It is weird. I don't know what her situation is in the comics, but it's weird that it's taken so long to meet her. Like where is she living? What's the deal? Why? Usually the mom has the custody of the kid, so I don't understand what's going on there. Morella says maybe Archie found out about Grundy and Jason, or he was jealous of his life, money, etc. Or he found out that he is a Blossom. Doesn't really make sense, but you like the concept. So I really am not feeling Archie being the killer. But like I said, they could explain anyone into being a killer. Doesn't mean I have to like what they do. Tobin says that he killed Jason. He called you a peasant and you lost it. So we can just end here because Tobin's confessed and we're done. We don't need to keep watching. Thank you, Tobin. Aaron says you hope Riverdale doesn't do a PLL and mess up the reveal. So, again, with not knowing this show and what it's going to do, it could be a really stupid reveal. I don't know. Ralph says if Polly jumped out the window before, then her windows would have bars. Okay. Ralph, who do you think is the killer, though? Seriously. I mean, because I just don't know. If it's not her, I don't know who it is. And I'm feeling like if it's somebody else, then we might be disappointed if the reasoning is stupid. I don't know. Paperlap says maybe we are just going to know who the killer is in season 2 because there are only 3 episodes left. And with all the things going around in the town, we will just get to see a big clue in the final episode. That's not what I have read and heard from like the people I follow on Twitter who are associated with this show. They've always said we would find out the killer in the finale unless they are like Marlene and don't go with that. I don't know. Ralph thinks it's Penelope. That's his mom, right? Jason's mom? Okay. And why? I want to hear why. Okay. Rachel thinks that this show is going to suffer in season 2. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't watch Designated Survivor. A lot of people have said it's good. I I'm sure it is. There's just so many shows that I need to watch. Will I ever have time to get into all of them? I don't know. Yeah, so Dad's Insane, they confirmed that it's going to be revealed in episode 12, which is the finale. So I feel like it's going to happen. Like, I do feel like we're going to find out who the killer is, but what's weird is that we really haven't gotten that many clues. So I feel you. I think that's why everyone in here is like mentioning someone else, because it's not very clear. Sometimes that's a good thing, like when the show makes it not clear and a lot of people believe the killer. But in this case, I think it's not that great of a thing because I don't think they have a strong case for hardly anyone to be the killer. Fred's wondering if it's Betty's mom. They may have purposely made Alice look nice just so we would no longer see her as a killer. I hope it's not because I really like her, but we'll see. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So episode 12 is the killer reveal. Okay. And 13 is probably an explanation. Excuse me. I knew there were 13 episodes. I'm sorry. And episode 13 is the finale. Thank you. Rachel's saying, watch Ethel is going to be the killer or Chuck. Oh my God. Guys, if it's Ethel, I'm really going to be struggling with this show because, oh my God, please no. Yeah, I'm really upset, as Aaron is saying here. We still never get any back, like flashbacks on Jason. And that makes me angry because it's like, I wanted to kind of know something about him, whether it was good or bad, you know, or neutral. Like, it's just weird, really weird. The whole season's basically about this person that we know absolutely nothing about. Ralph says he will go more in depth with your new theory later, but it clearly shows she has a fixation on Archie and she wears the pants in the Blossom home. Definitely, yeah. I'm trying to figure out, like, it's so weird, her obsession with Archie. But I don't know how that relates to her killing Jason, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested to hear your theory because I can't think of why she would kill him, but I don't know. Karen can't stand Alice Cooper. I really couldn't stand her either, but I actually really like her now because I just like the actress who plays her. Why was Miss Grundy introduced? I don't know. I mean, I definitely think there's a chance, Miguel, for her to come back or her to be mentioned again or for her storyline to be relevant again. But I really hope she's not the killer, honestly. Paperlap says somehow you don't really feel like the killer reveal is really the main storyline and you're not sure if that's a good thing. Well, it's definitely not going to be the series storyline. I think it's something that will definitely be moved away from in season 2. So I really think all this stuff with Hiram and the serpents and all that's going to be like an overlying theme through all of the seasons. That's kind of what I feel like. So I don't really think those people killed him either. But I think the Jason thing's going to be wrapped up and we'll move on, I guess, to some other mystery. I don't know if someone's going to be killed every season. I just don't know. Solange thinks that Alice Cooper is one of the best characters on the show. Yes, I agree with you. And you think Miss Grundy's storyline is coming back. So possibly. I think there's probably more to her into her story. Morella says you love that in Scream season 1, you were sure who the killer was in episode 5 or 6. And that's what upsets you in Riverdale. Really not sure who killed Jason and more important, why. Well, I think it's okay if a show like makes it really hard to figure out who the killer is. I'm cool with that, actually. Like when I get surprised in a good way, that makes me happy. I don't want to figure everything out. You know, that's boring. But what's not good is if the killer is really hard to figure out and then they reveal someone who doesn't really make sense. That's annoying. If they come out with someone that I've never even thought of and it makes a lot of sense, then I'm all for that, you know? Ralph says Mrs. Blossom is clearly the boss of all things unlawful in Riverdale. You feel her and Hiram are the two big bads, which is a PLL reference, right? That's funny. Yeah, so have we seen Hiram? Have we ever seen him in person? I feel like we haven't, right? I think I ask this like every time, but I don't know if anyone's ever answered me. Luna says, all we know is that Jason and Polly were together. He was on the football team and that he was into the drug business for money and the thing about the book with the girls. Pretty much. We've barely seen any video of him, like any flashback videos. Michael thinks that Archie was supposed to be killed and Jason was killed by accident. So I know a lot of you guys think that. Could be, definitely. Nikki's asking if I've watched the first minute of 7-Eleven and PLL. No, I'm like a terrible fan, right? I should. I know I saw that on Twitter. It was like I meant to go back and watch it and I didn't. I have to get like into PLL mode. I'm just not in it because I feel like that show hasn't been on forever and I'm kind of concerned about how they're going to reveal the last A. Plus, I think I'm in denial because I really don't want to as much as it kind of drives me nuts, I really do like the girls on the show and I'm kind of sad about them leaving, so I haven't gotten into PLO mode, but I have to. Solange, thank you so much. Of course. I do this because I love this so much, and I was just thinking last night, like how cool it is that I have you guys to talk to about these shows. That's seriously the reason I started doing this channel and doing these types of videos, and I don't know, I just love it. It's such a cool community, and I just think it's awesome that we can just all share our thoughts about shows because they're just a great, I don't know, I know it's kind of silly, I guess, when you think about it, but it's like an important part of my life to watch these shows, and it just always makes me happy, you know, to watch them and talk about them with you guys. Tobin says also, who wasn't at the drive-in because they trashed Kevin's dad's murder board? Didn't we find out that it was Betty's dad who did that, right? Jay Johnson thinks that Hermione Lodge hired the SS Serpents to kill Jason to get revenge on the Blossoms for putting her husband in jail. Yeah, possibly. That's going to be lame for me if that happens, but possibly. Ralph says they better get some iconic TV actor for Hiram, seen as Hiram Lodge's big character in the book and Archie's main rival. Yeah, so we haven't seen him yet. He's definitely a huge part of this show, obviously. I should start a vlog. I really do need a vlog. I'm going to go on vacation here in a couple weeks, and I should really do. I've thought about it. I should do. The only thing I hate about vlogging is like when you're on vacation, it's hard for me to enjoy like the thing that I'm doing because I'm so worried about like like getting this shot, getting that shot, you know? And sometimes I just want to enjoy the moment, but I love watching vlogs. That's actually my favorite thing to watch. Cooper trashed the board. Yeah. Hal Cooper. Yeah. Betty's dad. Yes. Rachel thinks you hope Hal and Alice have a secret kid. Yeah, I think they do probably have a kid that's older than everyone, right? Fergin's thinking about starting a YouTube with yourself, but when you go to college, yeah, I think you should. Like, right, it's just so, I really, it's fun. I never did it, like, for, like, the people. I didn't even know if anyone was going to watch. Like, to be completely honest, I was like, if no one watches this, I'll just stop, you know? But it was so cool how you guys found me. I don't know. Really cool. Luna says that A supposedly has been around since the beginning. Well, I mean, that's going to make me happy. I'm worried about that. I want it to be Ren, but, you know, or, like, who knows? I just don't trust that show at all. Who is Hal again? Hal is Betty and Polly's dad. So Ralph says Hiram is part charmer, part rattlesnake with a side of weasel. That's a good way. That's a good way to describe him, even though I don't know him. That's funny. My favorite vloggers, I really actually am caught into the Trisha Paytas world right now, like lately for like a year, which is kind of like a guilty pleasure because she's got a lot of drama and she's like totally opposite from me, but I get really into that storyline. I don't know. I just can't. Like, there's so many, all of her stories, whatever videos are just like drama filled. Like last night, she had some new ones, and I was like, oh my god. I know a lot of you guys watch her because I see you guys commenting on her videos. It's like so crazy. I'm trying to think you of. Oh, I watch like I watch iJustine. I like iJustine stuff. Claudia Salewski. Who else? I used to watch Ingrid a lot, but I don't think she vlogs anymore. I'm trying to think, and I can't think. Oh, like Meredith Foster and Sierra and Tila. I don't know if you guys watch any of them, but that's pretty much it. Solange says Hiram has to be extremely hot, right? You want Joe Manganiello, right? Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, he's not. I don't see him playing a supervillain, but I kind of do. He was sort of a villain in True Blood, but sort of a good guy. I don't know. No, was he a villain? I can't remember. Was he a good guy? I don't know. I haven't seen True Blood in so long. Mark Consuelos. Pokemon Champion says, if I remember, Alice handed Betty bipolar meds in one of the first episodes. Yes. So she could always be the killer because she was jealous of Polly getting the redhead action. That's funny. I know a lot of people really hope that it's like Betty's other personality that killed Jason, or she killed her and she killed him and she totally knows she did. I don't know. Possibly. So Luna says, to be honest, if this show introduces a secret sibling like PLL, you'll be so flustered because they did it in PLL and it was executed poorly, and they did it in Scream, and I really hope they don't. I'm totally with you. 13 Reasons Why. I don't want to talk about it too much. I'm so worried because I know people said you can't spoil anything, but, you know, I don't care. I don't want to know anything about it, but that's why I'm not doing any videos on it right now. Oh, Alcide was a good character. Okay. He was a wolf. I know that. Like, I did really watch all the episodes. 13 Reasons Why. I'm on episode 9, I think. Oh my God. I can't wait to do my video on this. I'm trying to finish it because even though I'm going to be hating when it's over, I can't wait to do my video on it for you guys because I just love that show so much. I love it, but I don't want to talk about it. Like, I just don't want to talk about it at all until it's over for me because I don't want to know one thing about it, even though, I mean, I just don't, because I love it so much, you know? I think it's one of the best shows I've ever watched, like, unless the ending sucks or something. I think it's so good. I don't know, it's taken me a while to finish it because the episodes are like an hour each. I don't watch them as fast as you guys, but I try to watch like 2 a day. I try. Sometimes I don't. Charles says it's probably Miss Grundy. They wouldn't just end a storyline that early. Oh my God, guys, I'm gonna be really mad. Like, I'm gonna have to rip up Miss Grundy's picture if it's her. I can't deal with that. I know. I knew that Ralph has some issues with 13 Reasons Why. I don't know why, and I don't want to know yet because I don't know if it ties into how they wrap everything up. I really like it. I really think that it's pretty freaking real, honestly. And it can be more real, I feel like, because it's on Netflix, but I don't know. I haven't finished it, so let me finish it, and I'll let you know. Hi, Callie. Thank you for being here. You can't watch 30. I know a lot of people are having trouble watching it. Some of the stuff is, I mean, I haven't finished it, but some of the scenes with Hannah, especially with her, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but are just like, oh, I can't with it. Like, it's hard. It's hard to, some of this stuff actually scared me, like, just to look at it, you know? But I'm loving it so far. I think it's really good. I'm hoping it doesn't let me down. I hope it's good all the way through. I just really like it. So I guess it's time for me to let you go, just to let you all know I will have my theory video. It's going to be about Polly because she's my suspect. And there really isn't much more to say about this week's episode except for why I think it's Polly and some other stuff. I don't know. I don't feel like a lot happened, but I'll have that up tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. Leave me comments on this after it's up. Solange just says, after binge watching 13 Reasons Why, Riverdale has been such a great antidote for you. Yeah, Riverdale's pretty calm compared to that. I mean, it's not as depressing anyway. But I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you tomorrow with my new video. So bye, guys.